Hey, this is Mrs. Reichel, and we are continuing our tissue talk on muscle tissue, and we'll wrap it up with nervous tissue. So make sure you have your notes, the printed out tissue notes for this. We're moving into muscle tissue. Muscle tissue is on the first page, right below the epithelium. So the location, go ahead and put everywhere. For location, put everywhere. The function, to produce movement. This one should be a lot easier for you because you get to cross out characteristics. I know it pains you to cross that out. And then go ahead and cross out classifications as well. I know you're super bummed. I will try to think of something if you'd really want to write more notes. And we are moving right into the examples, making it super short for you. Okay, so skeletal muscle is our first one. Skeletal muscle is under voluntary control. Skeletal muscle contracts to pull on bones or on skin, and it'll produce gross body movements. Okay, gross doesn't mean yucky. What does gross mean? Hopefully you're saying to me right now, gross means whole body movements, okay, or facial expressions. Some characteristics of skeletal muscle cells is that they are striated. They have more than one nucleus. They are multinucleate. They are long and they are cylindrical. And there's going to be a really good diagram on the next slide. So once you finish writing this down, we will look at a picture of what these characteristics really look like. Okay, so see how they are pretty long? Okay, striated. Let's talk about striated really quick. Striated, all of those tiny little darker pinkish lines means that it's striated. All of those lines. To me, when I look at skeletal muscle, I think of earthworms or something like that. Earthworms, because they have all of those little segments in them. Okay, so what else here? More than one nucleus. Let's find that. So these darker little purple ones that kind of blend in with my pen. Okay, more than one nucleus in each cell. And let's go ahead and move to cardiac muscle. Okay, cardiac muscle is under involuntary control. That is good news for you. So you don't have to think about your heart pumping. Okay, so under involuntary control, cardiac muscle is found only in the heart. The function of cardiac muscle is to pump blood. And some characteristics are that they are going to be attached to other cardiac cells at intercalated discs, and we'll look at what those pictures look like in a minute. They are striated. What does striated mean? Hopefully you're telling the computer right now that they have all of those little lines, okay? Also, they have one nucleus per cell. Okay, so let's see here. The striations are going to be these lighter pinkishy lines. These darker pink lines, as this is already labeled for us, are those intercalated discs. So those darker pink ones are the intercalated discs. And you'll notice that there's one nucleus per cell, and it's only present in the heart. And smooth muscle. Smooth muscle is under involuntary control. So you do not control it. You control skeletal muscle. Do you control cardiac muscle? Hopefully your answer was no, you do not. Smooth muscle is found in the walls of hollow organs such as the stomach, the uterus, blood vessels. The characteristics, there's no visible striation. So what is it lacking? Hopefully you said that it's lacking those little lines that the other two had. There's also one nucleus per cell, and they are spindle-shaped cells. Okay, so here is smooth muscle. Smooth muscle has, see these little spindle shaped cells, aren't they cool looking? They kind of remind me of tapeworms for some reason. All right, so those are our smooth muscle cells. You'll notice that there's one nucleus per cell. Notice that there's not those lines. Those aren't there, okay? They just look very smooth, and they're involuntary. Okay, we are finishing up with our 4 tissue layers. So go ahead and go to the next page. It's right below the connective tissue section, and we're going into the nervous tissue. So for location, go ahead and put everywhere. So location, put everywhere. You could even put brain and spinal cord if you want to be specific, although you have nervous tissue all over the place. Okay, the function, go ahead and write the function. You're going to send impulses to other areas of the body. So, irritability and conductivity. You may skip characteristics. You may also skip classification. Yes, you're welcome. And then the example is a neuron. So go ahead and maybe you want to draw out a neuron so you know what that looks like. This is a picture of a neuron. Okay? So that's what nervous tissue looks like. That's what the cells look like. Those are the neurons. And that wraps up our tissue talk. In addition, it wraps up all of chapter 3.